Hey everyone, welcome back. We're still in Module 2. We are still in Topic 1, Lesson 4. We're now on Activity 3, which is page 218. That's my kitty Lily squawking in the background. Parts and wholes and ratio tables. So before we've always just been working part to part. Now we're going to work part to wholes. Recall that the school colors at Riverview Middle School are a shade of green and white. This was in a few lessons ago. It takes 3 parts blue paint to 2 parts yellow paint to create the green color. The art teacher, Mr. Wraith, needs to mix different quantities of the green paint for several school projects. Mr. Wraith thought that the art students needed a table to help them determine the correct amount of each color of paint for different projects, both large and small. Examine Sally's answers. So Sally says, and she's got a thumbs down, so we know she is not correct. Sally says, if I want 15 pints of green paint, then I will need to add 10 to the original 5 total parts of green to get 15. So I should add 10 to each of the other numbers, 2, to get 12 pints of yellow and 13 pints of blue. What is wrong with Sally's thinking? So let's kind of back up here a little bit and break this down. So we know it's 3 parts of blue. I have a yellow highlighter, but it's going to be hard to write in yellow, so I'm going to write in pink for the yellow. 2 parts of yellow to give us the green. So the green has 5 total parts, right? 3 blue, 2 yellow is 5 that are total for the green. Okay, with me so far? Okay, so then she says, I will need to add 10 to the original 5 to get 15. So she says, if I want 15 pints of green. So if she goes from 5, she says add 10 so that she can get 15 pints of green. So she's wanting 15 pints of total green. She says, so I should add 10 to each of the other numbers too, meaning also, to get 12 pints of yellow and 13 pints of blue. So she's saying add 10 here, add 10 here. And when you add 10 to the 3, you're going to get 13 blue, and 2 plus 10 is 12 yellow. Now here the 3 plus the 2 gave us 5 total. But here 13 blue and 12 yellow, does that give us 15 total? It doesn't. So no. This will give us, this would make what? This would make 25 pints of green. And would it be in the right ratio? Is it going to be in that 3 to 2 ratio? If I do 3 divided by 2, remember in a lesson, 2 lessons ago, we said if you divide these, the quotient, in order for them to be equivalent, the quotient would be the same on both. So what is 3 divided by 2? So half of 3 is 1.5. So that is a 1.5 quotient, 3 divided by 2. Do you get 1.5 when you do 13 divided by 12? No. No, it's not even close. It's not even close. Half of 13 would be 6.5, but this isn't half of 13. This is 12 parts here. So 13 divided by 12. This was 3 divided by 2, 3 divided in half. This is 13 divided by 12. So that is why she is wrong. Okay, moving on. Number 2, complete the table with the correct amounts. Please pause and please fill this out. Okay, you should be getting pretty good at this by now. So to go from 5 pints to 15 pints, this is what she should have done. That's why it says correct amounts. So 5 pints to 15 pints is 3 times the amount. So 5 times 3 gives us the 15. So we're going to do times 3 on each of these. So 2 times 3, 6 pints of yellow, and 3 times 3 is 9 pints of blue. Okay, so notice 3 plus 2 is 5, 9 plus 6 is 15. So here, 12 pints, 8 pints, this will be 20 pints. Okay, so what about 18 pints? I could go from 3 to 18, or I could look at 9 to 18. Either way, it doesn't matter. If I went 9 to 18, I'm going to think times 2. So 15 times 2 gives me 30 here. We also have to do the 6 times 2, which will give us 12. I'm just going to start putting a P for pints here because I'm going to run out of room. 18 plus 12 does in fact give us 30. Would that have worked? You don't have to write this one down. But if I went 3 to 18, it would be 3 times 6. So 2 times 6 is 12. 5 times 6 is 30. So that one would have worked as well. All right, 1.5 pints. And we kind of did that up here. So if we divide by 2, divide by 2. So if we divide by 2 on all of these, what's 2 divided by 2? 1. 5 divided by 2 is 2.5. This one can go over the edge because I'm at the end of the column. 1.5 pints plus 1 pint is 2.5 pints. I'm going to pause so that you can fill that out before moving on to the next page. Okay, moving on here to page 219. The next question, Charlie said the table is helpful, but it cannot list every amount we might need for every painting project. He says, I think if we multiply 2/5 times the total number of green paint we need, we can determine the amount of yellow paint. If we multiply 3/5 times the total amount of green paint we need, then we can determine the amount of blue paint needed. So is Charlie correct or not? So we know that there are, I'm going to use this, 2 yellow, every 3 blue. So there's 5 total. So he's saying if we multiply 2/5 times the total amount of green we need, we can determine the amount of yellow. So is yellow a 2 to 5 ratio? 2 yellow to 5 total. It is. So this is the part. This is the whole. So 2/5 is the part of the whole mixture that is yellow. And 3/5 is the part of the whole mixture that is blue. So if you take 2/5 and multiply it by whatever amount you're looking for, that's how much yellow you should have. 3/5 times that number would be the amount of blue. Charlene said, I'm thinking about this differently. The amount of blue paint is always 1.5 times as much as the amount of yellow paint. Let's see, is that true? So she says the amount of blue is always 1.5 times the amount of yellow. The blue was 3 to 2 yellow. If we divide that, we get 1 1/2. It's really over 1, right? Or 1.5 over 1. It is 1.5 times the amount of yellow. We could kind of write this differently. If I said 3 to 2 this way, and I divide that by 2, I could say 1, and 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. So it is always going to be 1.5 times that 1. So the amount of blue abbreviating, the amount of blue, oh, we need to write correct. Charlie is also correct. The amount of blue is, actually, the amount of blue in the total is always 1.5 times the amount of yellow. Let me see where I put that previous page. We can go back and kind of take a look at that. Is the amount of blue always 1.5 times the amount of yellow? So 6 times 1.5. So 6 times 1 is 6. Half of 6 is 3. 6 plus 3 is 9. 8 times 1.5. 8 times 1 is 8. Then half of 8 is 4. 8 plus 4 is 12. So it's true. We could prove it with all of the others then. Clifford said, my thinking is related to Charlene's. The yellow paint is 2/3 of the blue paint. What was that, correct? 2/3 of the blue. What do you think? I gotta move this up so y'all can see it. So the ratio, let's think about it. So the ratio of yellow to blue is 2 to 3. Remember, we can write the ratio like this as well, 2 to 3. So the yellow paint is 2 to 3 of the blue paint. So that is correct. The amount, abbreviating again, of yellow paint in the total mixture will be 2/3 the amount of blue in the total. Okay, I'm going to pause here. You can finish up and then we'll flip it over. And actually, when I flip it over, we're on Talk the Talk, so we'll see you on the next video for that.